This is OwlUp, where learning happens in minutes, not hours. For a deeper journey, explore all our courses at owlup.co. Now, let's dive in. Within a fifth of a second, your brain has already decided if someone is attractive before you know their name, their politics, or their favorite show. Yet decades of research say what really hooks us isn't looks at all, but something much quieter most people overlook. Think of the moment after that first spark. When you lean in a little closer, your laugh loosens, and suddenly the conversation feels strangely easy. That shift isn't random. It's your brain quietly running a multi-layered checklist. Do we think alike? Do we get each other's jokes? Do I feel safe letting a bit more of myself show? Under the surface, several systems are firing at once. Your nose is picking up faint scent cues that can influence comfort and trust. Your ears are tracking rhythm, tone, and warmth in the other person's voice, a bit like a built-in lie detector mixed with a radio tuner. Your mind is scanning for tiny signs of shared values, how they talk about friends, stress, money, or plans. In this episode, we'll unpack how those subtle channels, scent, sound, behavior, and belief, quietly decide who turns into just a face and who becomes unforgettable. Psychologists sometimes call this next phase sorting for a match. Your brain isn't just reacting anymore, it's running quiet experiments. You drop a slightly vulnerable comment and watch. Do they respond with curiosity or judgment? You notice how they treat the server, how they talk about an ex, how they react when plans change unexpectedly. Each moment tweaks your internal forecast. Would daily life with this person feel energizing or draining, expansive or small? Modern studies show that this ongoing, microscopic data collection predicts long-term attraction far better than any profile picture ever could. Here's where attraction stops being a spark and starts becoming a pattern. Once your brain has done those rapid-fire first passes, it shifts into something slower and more strategic, predicting the future. Researchers see this in how strongly we're pulled towards similarity. Not just, we both like sushi, but deeper overlaps, core values, emotional style, and how we handle conflict. That 2017 meta-analysis showing similarity explains about a third of relationship satisfaction. It's largely about these less visible alignments, attitudes toward commitment, how warmly we relate to others, even how we interpret everyday stress. In lab settings and speed dating events, one thing consistently boosts attraction beyond looks: reciprocal liking. When people sense, concretely, you like me back, desire jumps. In Finkel and Eastwick's work, knowing someone chose you raised interest by 20 to 30%. Your brain relaxes its guard when it doesn't have to solve the "do they even want me?" puzzle, freeing up energy to explore curiosity and playfulness instead of self-protection. We also tend to underestimate how much familiarity shapes attraction. The mere exposure effect shows that simply encountering someone repeatedly, class, hallway, the same coffee shop, quietly increases how much we like them, as long as those encounters aren't negative. Dating apps inadvertently recreate a digital version of this. Profiles that keep resurfacing can feel oddly more appealing over time, especially if you spot shared interests or friends. And then there's behavior in motion. Small acts, how quickly they respond, whether they remember details you mentioned, whether they show up when it's inconvenient, feed into your body's chemistry set. Consistent warmth and reliability encourage oxytocin and a sense of safety. Unpredictable hot and cold behavior keeps dopamine on a roller coaster that can feel like chemistry while actually signaling emotional volatility. Your nervous system is effectively running a long-range test. Does being close to this person make my life bigger or smaller? That answer, more than any single moment of spark, is what ultimately pulls people into real, lasting connection. Think about the moment someone shifts from interesting stranger to I could talk to you for hours. Often it's not a grand confession, but a tiny, specific overlap. You both light up about street photography, or you share oddly similar childhood rituals around Sunday dinner. Those oddly specific me too moments act as little proof points that your inner worlds might fit. You also see this in how niche communities form. Two people might look wildly different on paper, age, culture, career, but bond intensely over the same underground band or the same way of processing big feelings. That shared lens can outweigh dozens of surface differences. Tech companies accidentally run mass experiments on this. When apps highlight shared playlists, fandoms, or games, conversations start more easily and die less quickly. It's not the topic itself that matters, it's the felt sense of, you're tuned to the same station I am, which quietly invites both people to show a bit more of their real selves. Attraction's future may feel less like meeting someone and more like stepping into a customized simulation. As AI systems learn your patterns of interest, the way budgeting apps learn spending habits, they could start curating people who fit not just your profile, but your micro-reactions, whose pauses you lean into, whose stories make your attention spike. The ethical tension. Do we want technology to sharpen our choices, or quietly narrow who we ever get the chance to be drawn to? So the real experiment isn't, how do I get more people to like me, but who do I become more myself around? Notice where your curiosity widens, where time moves like a good playlist instead of a stopwatch. Follow those subtle pulls. They're less about chasing a spark, and more about finding the places your future could actually grow. To go deeper, here are 3 next steps. 1. Take the free attachment style quiz from the Attachment Project, and then read the sections of Amir Levine and Rachel Heller's book Attached that match your result, paying special attention to how it affects who you're drawn to and why. 2. Use the similarity filters on a dating app like Hinge or OkCupid, values, politics, religion, lifestyle, and intentionally tweak one variable at a time for a week to see how changing similarity versus difference shifts who you feel attracted to. 3. Watch Helen Fisher's TED Talk, The Brain in Love, and, while you watch, keep a browser tab open with the triune brain or limbic system diagrams from Simply Psychology, so you can literally map what she's describing onto the brain regions that light up during attraction. This was OwlUp, your daily step forward. This series continues with more chapters on OwlUp.co. Visit OwlUp.co to access the complete course and continue your learning journey. See you there!